Hello spooky souls, welcome to the van. My partner and I quite often go away in our self-built camper van, so that's where I am this weekend. I'm actually going to be taking you along with me for this weekend reading vlog. He's out metal detecting, I'm here in the van. I'm actually just cooking myself a quick bit of breakfast, and I want to run through with you the two choices of books that I brought along with me for this weekend's readathon, or reading vlog rather. So the first one is The Cat Dragon by Samantha Birch, and this was part of my autumn TBR choices. So we brought this one, which is like a cosy cottagecore read. And the second one is Nightshade by Autumn Woods. Now, I was looking at this the other day, and Autumn Woods, I mean, that just sounds like a great author's name, doesn't it? Especially for this season. But is that actually someone's real name, or is it a pseudonym? If anyone knows, I'd be really interested to find out. So this one is dark academia, murder mystery, romance sort of novel. So I bought two options depending on what mood I'm in. I don't know whether I'll get through two books in 2 days because I am here until tomorrow afternoon, and I've got a bit of editing to do as well for this channel. But I think I'm going to start off with Cat Dragon and see how we go. So I'm going to grab some breakfast, grab a cup of tea, and let's get into this amazing weekend together. So here's the breakfast. It's only a little bit of mushrooms this morning for breakfast. I'm going to do some eggs in a minute. This is my current view out of the van window. It has been raining this morning, so there's a little bit of wetness to the ground. But the sunshine's come out, so that's pretty cool. And then for anyone that hasn't met Monster yet, here's Monster. He's really tired and sleepy this morning. He doesn't want to go out, as you can imagine, because it's just cold and wet. Even though the sun is shining, it is actually really cold out. So we're going to cook up some breakfast, and then we'll carry on with our reading. Right, well, I'm not quite ready to go out and face the world. No makeup on, straight out of the van. Breakfast was delicious. Oh, someone's trying to get me on the radio. My partner Mel, he's on the radio, so if he needs anything, we're on channel 1. But it seems like everybody else is also using channel 1, so I keep getting interference, so apologies for that. My little chihuahua, Monster, he needs to go out for a little wee-wee and just a little wander. So we're gonna get our shoes on and I'm gonna quickly take him out, and I will show you quickly where we are and the van. Those of you that have never seen me on YouTube before, I have actually been online for quite a long time, but just in a very different world. So I actually love van life. I have a van myself. So if you are interested in that, then I can leave my other channel down below. But this channel is all about reading and books, which is my other secret passion. So I'm really excited to have you here with me on this weekend. So let's go take Monster. And I probably won't be outside for very long because it's freezing. So Monster's got his own little harness and lead, so we're just going to whack that on for him. Monster's great off lead, but not if there's lots of vehicles around. His favourite trick is actually running under vans and not coming out. That's what I taught him years ago, so that if he heard a vehicle moving, he would hide under our vehicle and stay put. The trouble is that when he does go under a vehicle, whether it's ours or somebody else's, if it's not dangerous, he still stays under there. So it can be a little bit tricky when you need him to move suddenly, especially if that vehicle that he's hiding under also needs to move. So we're going to put this on you, Bubba, and then we're going to go out. Oh, it's chilly. Right, let's go take this little guy for a little wander. Right then, baby, let's go. Woo! Yeah, let's go. It's actually really beautiful now. I wasn't expecting it to be this nice. Only an hour ago, it was biblical rain and wind. It's actually really lovely to see everyone out in the field and not be completely bamboozled with the weather. Let's go and see if I can show you the field itself now. Come on. Right, let's get in, drink our cup of tea and start Cat Dragon, I think. I'm really excited to see what this one has to offer. I hope it's a bit of whimsy, but I also hope it's more adult than YA. Up, up. Ooh. Oh, that is enough for me. Not without a coat, at least. Was that nice? Was that nice? Yeah? Well, that was incredibly windy. He wanted to go out for a little bit longer, which meant that I was just patiently waiting to come back in, drink my cup of tea, get all cosy and start Cat Dragon. So that's what we're going to do now. This is the first time I've even attempted to do a reading vlog, so let's see how it goes. Is there anything particular that you want to see in future reading vlogs? Because I may well do this as a regular thing. It encourages me to get some reading time done in as well. So let's get going with Cat Dragon. Yay! Let's go. Good morning. It is the very next day. I haven't managed to do as much reading as I thought yesterday. I was looking after my partner Mel when he came back and forth from his detecting antics. So made us some food, made lots of cups of tea for him. And I also needed to edit a video for this channel. So I did that amongst reading. I am really enjoying Cat Dragon so far, what I have read. On my previous video when I talked about choosing this book, I liked the sound of the prattling pumpkin patch. The writer has done a really extraordinary thing in that she uses the passing of old relatives and the spirits of the dead, essentially. They get then turned into seeds, where Aloysia then keeps them in jars in her sort of kitchen apothecary or pantry. And then the book starts with her seeding them, essentially, carving the ones that have already fully grown into pumpkins. So essentially when a loved one passes or a relative, they get their spirit or something gets put into a seed, and then the seeds are put on the shelf ready for planting. And then when they're harvested, all of the relatives come back as pumpkins. And I just think that's so delightful. The main character is basically just carving all of the relatives' faces, and different ones have different personalities, and as soon as they're given mouths, they start arguing about, long gone arguments. And the main topic that the old grannies and great-great-grannies are all prattling around about is the fact of what Aloysia's wearing, her hair, why she's still single, and she's there patiently just carving away, like making them ready and setting them on like her mantelpiece and around the kitchen and making them into a part of the home again. And it's just quite comical how the author has kind of set that as the tone for the start of the book, and I think it's really delightful. Also, Crow is a crow who Aloysia saves apparently a few years previously to when the story starts. And again, it's just very comical, the dialogue. They kind of take the pee out of each other. And I can just tell already this is very full of whimsy. The writing style is a little bit more poetic, a bit more lilting is the words that I can say, because sometimes I've had to go back and reread the sentence just because it didn't go in the way that I was expecting it. But it is really delightfully written. But today we have got nothing else planned. We've got the whole van to ourselves for a couple of hours now. So I'm going to get stuck into seeing what happens next. We've literally just set the scene, essentially, in the first few pages. I'm already loving Aloysia's character. She's very strong-willed, keeps things to herself, but she's also very kind, very creative, and she's got a lot of skills. And apparently her witch gift, or her witch help is what it's called in here, is not allowed to be chargeable. So she lives in this village, and basically she can help people or give them tinctures or herbs or advice in exchange for things coming backwards. So at the moment, Crow, who she rescued, is currently arguing about the fact that he's not allowed to go in the hen coop. Oh, by the way, the hens in this are called cockatrice are the cocks or the chickens that she has on the farm, but they have the body of a cockerel and the tail of a snake or a dragon, so they're called cockatrice, and they lay dragon's eggs essentially as well as chicken eggs. It's a little bit confusing. Anyway, she's currently going to go off and try and get some worms off of the cockatrice, because Crow isn't allowed to go in the barn by himself because they attack him essentially. So she's now just running off to try and get some worms off the cockatrice, and meanwhile trying not to get sort of burnt with their fire and snagged with their tails. So there's quite a lot of interesting different type characters, but the pumpkins have definitely got me so far. I've just made myself a cup of coffee. Cheers. Grab yourself a cup of hot beverage, whatever it is that you like, too. And let's get cozy. It's really cold today, so I'm actually going to get my blanket and let's get on with Cat Dragon. By the way, Monty is also down in the van and he's all snuggled up because it's very cold outside today, so he is snuggling away. Well, in the end, it was a long, long drive back from Shrewsbury. We got stuck round Birmingham and we didn't get back to the house until super late. So it's now the following morning. I've just lit a fire. I am making myself a hot cup of coffee to get started for the day. And I'm back into reading Cat Dragon. Now, I've only got to chapter 7. I know I've epically failed at this reading vlog weekend, but I hope you've still enjoyed spending the time with me. The story is getting a little bit more fleshed out now. We're introduced to the love interest who's just come bumbling into this evening's Harvest Festival fair. Aloysia, has just had to save her farm and the villagers from being crushed by this guardian. Hollis is her best friend's brother, and he's in charge of being the guardian, which is the human, non-magical person in charge of this animal that's essentially a dragon come tree that's like branches and leaves and everything. And Aloysia saves the day essentially using her little bit of magic that she's got and her cunning and also her love for plants. So it's starting to become a really delightful story. And she's also made friends with her cat dragon, because everyone is paired with a cat dragon at the age of 8, except for Aloysia. She never managed to pair it, and she's now 28. And this cat dragon came into her life in the non-traditional way. Normally, it's a bit similar to Ollivanders from Harry Potter. At 8 years old, you'd be taken to the cat dragon emporium and bonded with the correct cat dragon that suited your temperament and your magic and everything. But that never happened to Aloysia. So this cat dragon has literally just escaped from the emporium and found her that same evening. And instead of it being a lovely, delightful, magical moment, she basically got clawed. She had to kind of try and tackle the animal and get it under control, but it was like a bond straight away that they knew was magical, but not in a traditional sense. So we're just up to chapter 7, like I said, and she has just stopped her chickens, the cockabees, and her little cottage being flattened by this guardian who isn't very well, it turns out. So she's used her magical knowledge and her botanical knowledge to solve the issue with the guardian, and that was climbing on his back, somehow using her friend's cat dragon. She flew over him and she sprinkled compost into the little nooks and crevices where all the vines and the weeds were growing. And he suddenly calmed down and stopped thrashing about and trying to destroy the village. So we're just up to that point, and I'm not quite sure what's going to happen next. But it is the beginning of Monday morning. I must admit, I haven't managed to read much over the weekend because there was a lot going on in the end. Who knew? But I hope that you've enjoyed reading along with me, or at least having some fun as I get to explore this book with you. If it's something that interests you, then I will highly recommend that you pick up Cat Dragon. I will let you know at the end of the month wrap-up video how I got on with it, because I've got quite a lot of reading to catch up with and do. So we're going to do a bit of that this afternoon and for the rest of the week. So with that being said, I leave you to your spooky reads today, and leave a comment down below if you loved this reading vlog, and I'd love to know what you're currently reading, and would Cat Dragon be something that you would pick up? Don't forget that this channel is for the dreamers, for the witches and the wanderers, and these are our enchanted pages. See you soon.